All right, moment of truth. Oh, get over there, yeah. What's this? Oh, nice. Oh, it causes California in the state of cancer. Nice. This doesn't look too bad. I mean, if that sheet was okay, this thing should be fine. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. Now, I'm not sure if the original mat probably had like a blue thing. I don't know. I don't know if does this blue really match? Not really. Oh well. All this blue, like look at this. There's like 3 different shades here, just depending on. Well, okay, here. Does it match this carpet? No, not really. Maybe in 20 years. Give it 20 years. This is going to be just as dirty and nasty as this. In fact, this probably won't even be here. It'll probably be rotten right off. So, alright, let me get this laid down, see how she looks. So I guess those little indents are for the seat belt holes. So they put these little indent holes so you can kind of line it up, which is nice because I was getting kind of lost. Like, what's going on? Where's this darn thing supposed to go, right? Oh, geez, how do I even grab this? Come on. All right. Kind of get her pushed down here, lined up. Just a few threads. There. All right. So we got both of those bolts down. Now we can begin pressing this down, pushing it forward. We're gonna have to start cutting away from up there, and then I might put the center console down, kind of see where it fits as well, and see how that's going. And little cuts, I've been told, little cuts. Don't start cutting it all. So here's the backer panel. This one's actually in pretty good shape. You see a lot of these missing because people take them out. Like, mice can get behind here, and there's some matting back there that maybe they can chew up and whatever. People just look at them and then throw them out. And soggy because it's made out of cardboard too. But you can tell mine even has the sticker on it, so that's pretty cool. The difference between the colors. So, you know what? I mean, I'm still. This mat still looks really nice, and it's not that bad. I don't. It's not gonna matter too much to me. I mean, just look at the rest of the truck, and then you'll think, oh, gee, that mat's, that's pretty nice. So, I'm gonna have to cut some more off the back here. But we got this cut down here. Oof. I did do a little bit of fluid film in there, but I see they separated the rockers from the cab corners, which is actually pretty nice. Just getting after it, like it's not a hard job. It's just if you haven't done like carpet cutting before, trying to make sure you know how you lay it down. Like, I don't want to glue it down. I don't want to use a heat gun or nothing like that. I've been told it kind of, like, all these wrinkles and creases come out. Once you drive it after a while, like the heat gets to it from underneath and just kind of shapes it. So, I don't know. We'll see. So we got a couple of interior panels in. Got this all cut down. Just trying out the fitment. Missing a couple of screws as usual. Missing a couple of these sheet metal nuts that go over these. Had to use an extra screw under there. Well, a new screw. As in an oversized one because the hole was stripped out, of course. And headliner is in. Getting it in anyway. So it's just a flag off of Amazon. So the little mirror hangers that go in the middle here, one of them was gray and they're supposed to be blue. So shadow blue. So that's the color that best matches these interior panels. Shadow blue SEM color coat. With these holes here, I literally just press the carpet down, they pop right through. So, alright, getting the headliner in. Looking good, looking good. Doesn't match perfectly. This is kind of almost like a, I don't know, aquamarine or something. Like, kind of like a, almost, there's almost a green in it. But, whatever. I do like, I love that blue interior, honestly. Like, the red, the maroons are really nice, but there's something about this blue. It's just different. It's just 80s. I don't know. Little crack here, little crack there. I had to dye that. It's not too bad from a distance, but yeah, just literally every panel on this. Like, I had to replace a couple of these with some ones from Cody. Just everything's got whiskey involved. Like, somebody just tore that right off. Probably forgot there was a screw in it. Other than that, this one isn't too bad. This one, we're missing one of those push pins, and then the whiskey was involved in this one as well. I'm sure they could be fixed, and I will fix them probably. But for now, Cody was parting out one, and then there's another little chip here. But this is the original on this one, but it's usable enough. The other one wasn't usable. Yeah. Anyway, we got this sealed up. So now we're ready to... I can't tell if this is like... Yeah, I think this is like that old man pants blue on the inside. Like underneath all these other coats of paint. Anyway, I'll probably sell those. I got a bunch of those in black anyway. So we're getting ready to get this door panel on. And then we'll be working on the seat. Interior's mostly buttoned up. Last bit, I think the last bit, other than the radio, which I'm going to do later, is the seat. Now, I need to fix the seat. And I know some of you who have rusted up seat brackets and whatnot. I'm not sure if these seat brackets are correct, because, like, what's this hole for? Something's going on there, and I'm not sure if it's exactly right, but at least it's not rusted, Like, it's broken, and somebody fixed it, but that's as much rust as is on it, and I'm not going to worry about that. However, so this being the driver's side here, this is the seat adjuster, and we can see that there's an issue. Like, where does that even go? So I'm thinking, like, it's supposed to go in there. But yeah, because the driver's side moves, but the other side doesn't, right? So I'm wondering how. Maybe if I just get another piece of wire and like tie it with this piece and then tie it with into there or something. I think that's where it goes, or does it go somewhere up there? Alrighty, there we are. So, just kind of wrapped it around, got some old safety wire I had. Seems to work. So, I mean, I'll probably only need it like the handful of times that I'm going to adjust it, and then it's going to be good. So, we got this all set up. This spring was missing, so I found it, thankfully. Just used some pop rivets there. But, yeah, should be good now. I think what happened is maybe they kind of like, each track got kind of off track, and then it stretched this and broke it. I don't know. Probably just rusted off. But this is actually a pretty thick wire still. So, I'm gonna have a friend come over and help me lift it into the Jeep. Alright, so I kind of realized something. There was this little hook here, and I wasn't sure what it was for. But then I realized, oh yeah, there's a transmission tunnel that goes under here. So I figured, well, that's probably for this piece of wire here to hold it up so that it can go over the transmission tunnel and not start cutting into the into the carpet or get broken. So that's probably what that's for. I don't know if I'm missing like a second hook. I don't see another hole for one, but yeah. Anyway, looks good now. Yeah, that door doesn't shut perfect, but I wonder if that's how the B-pillar trim got damaged. Probably not, but probably just the seatbelt smacked against it. But we got her all buttoned up. Of course, we got to get the center console in yet, but not too worried about that right now until I get the transmission in. Oh man, this feels good. Feels good to make progress, you know. Just done some little bit of cleaning. You know, this dash is not too bad. There's a little indentation right there from where that other mirror was sitting. The mirror was kind of broke. Well, it wasn't broke, but had all like that crusty kind of like corrosion or something behind the glass, so couldn't really see out of it. But painted the window cranks. Not perfect, but you know, you don't really notice it at a distance. Well, maybe you do, but then again, you'll also notice the color difference in the matte. So yeah, it's not perfect. Boy, is it ever quieter in here now. I mean, obviously, right? See, that worked out quite nicely. Oh, yeah. Nice clean. Fairly clean anyway. A little speckly, but I'm not going to press them too hard. Oh, yeah. I suppose I got to get these interior lights in, but these, where's the one? So these interior lights are the bane of most Comanche owners' existence. Made in France, it says. That's crazy. Some people probably don't know, but you can actually flip these, and it's meant to be flipped. But a lot of times these don't work, so, or these lenses are broken or something, so I don't know if it's the bulb on this one or if it's the wiring, but mine never worked, so we're going to be looking at that. You know, even down to the cigarette lighter having like a chrome trim on it to match the rest of the little chrome bits in there. I got the hour or the clock option. Oh yeah, speedometer cable's another thing. So it says 196,000 clicks. That's kilometers. See, Americans. And that is not correct because it's the guy said it was probably somewhere around 250. So what's that? 160,000 miles or something like that? 180. But because the speedometer cable was actually broke, we're going to have to reach up under there, stick our hand down in there, give it a twist, and then a pull, and then come back in up there, give it a twist, and then a push, or what have you. Jeep surgery. Oh man, I'm so excited. This is a milestone. This is like halfway done now. Basically, I've got oil leaks that I still have to patch up, so I have the what do you call it? Oil filter adapter. It's like a 90-degree. That has O-rings in it, leaks. My distributor, like there's so you got your distributor cap, right? Underneath that is the distributor stock that goes into the engine. There's a little O-ring on there or some kind of paper gasket. That's leaking. The PCV on the top of the valve cover is leaking. We buttoned up the rear main. Check for coolant leaks, I guess. Mainly just put the biggest things are going to be putting the transmission back on, and then we have my NP242 that is coincidentally also from another 98 Cherokee, because the axles and the transmission and transfer case on this Jeep are from a 98 Cherokee, two different ones, mind you. So the the 231 is great, but I just feel like I've got a 242, I might as well put it in. You know, I'm not doing any serious rock crawling, so I don't need like the extra strength of the 240 or the 231. And I would kind of like the option of like 4-wheel drive full time. I don't know if I'll be able to hook it up to this. I don't even know if that light works with the transmission or with the transfer case we have. I believe this was a 2-wheel drive Jeep, actually. I don't know if they sold the Pioneer, because this is a Pioneer model. I don't know if they sold the Pioneer models with 2-wheel drive or not. I seem to think that they only had 4-wheel drive Pioneers, but I'm not sure. I know the Eliminators, they were pretty much all 2-wheel drives. But in any case, this didn't come with badges for 4-wheel drive, and the fact that it was transmission and axle swapped leads me to believe that it was a 2-wheel drive truck. There's also, I bought these from Cody, so gonna slap those on at some point, because you gotta let people know. You know, you can't just walk up to a Jeep and expect not to see 4-wheel drive advertising. You know, like that's half the reason of owning a Jeep is the depraved bravado of their capabilities. I don't even know if that makes sense. I am literally, dude. I am like messed up on diesel heater fumes. Yeah, it kicked in just as I friggin' was trying to mention it. That thing is probably like suffocating me slowly and killing brain cells. It's like a mental, that plus like the seam sealer I've been using and the brake clean and the carb clean. Oh man, that is a mental handicap speed run right here, especially in this enclosed tent. It's not the greatest. It's actually pretty well ventilated with all the holes in the front and back of it, but it's still not great. It's not like having a garage door open. So, yeah, you can feel it at times for sure. But man, this is a milestone. This just feels so good, and it just, oh man, I love this interior. It makes like the color blue just calms you down. You know, it makes you think everything's gonna be all right. I like that. Nice white headliner with, you know, your beliefs written on it. Oh, man, I just love it. Oh man. I had to pray to get this off right. Man, it's been rough. It's been a rough past couple days. And man, you know, like the 80s stuff, you have to pray that this has enough malleability left in the plastic. I pray I can get that back on again without breaking it. Oh my gosh, they did not leave you enough room getting that out. So we're in here trying to replace the speedometer cable, because of course when they replaced it, or when they replaced the engine and transmission and whatever else they were doing under there, they took out all the clips and whatever was holding, zip ties, I'm sure was holding a lot of stuff together, let everything hang down, so the speedometer cable burnt up on the exhaust. This stuff is treacherous as well. I'll tell you what though, that Milwaukee screwdriver sure is nice. Oh, I noticed we do have a full-time light. It's right there, right above part-time. So if all goes well, I might be able to even hook up the full-time four-wheel drive light, which would be sweet. But I don't know how the wiring, like there's a 4-pin connector on the wiring harness, but they only got the 2 wires running out of it, so I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, obviously I think the connectors are different from the 89 to 98 because of the transfer case swap in this. So I don't know what's going to go on there. Maybe I could just get like a 89 sensor and it'll plug in. I don't know. So that looks like the speedometer cable wasn't even hooked up anyway. I mean, first of all, it was burnt. Now it's not hooked up either. But here's the question. Maybe when I don't know if I'll be able to get my hand in there. But does that even fit? Like, is that even supposed to fit through that hole there? Because maybe I just kind of pulled it out when I tried to pull this dash out. Wouldn't make too much sense though. Yeah, and look at this. Like, what's even going on here? That's the biggest question with this Comanche, man. Like, what is even going on? Man, I got ripped off on this thing. Look, 2 missing screws here. Some extra screws poked through there for no apparent reason. They must have had a different radio in this, and then he took it out to sell it. I think that's the case. All right, got the new cable in. I think I know how it works. You just push that down, and then Get her lined up. And then, hold on, let me get a drill and then I'll turn it and see what happens. All right, we got her chucked up in the drill, fairly straight. Hopefully. All right, we're going at about 30 kilometers an hour. That's pretty good. All right, so you do it in reverse, I guess. So, oh wow, you can see the actual odometer's moving. Ah, thank God. One part I don't have to replace or fix again on this, because believe it or not, I did buy a spare dash. It's on the table over there, just in case. But thankfully, this one works so far. Alright, so I just went over to the other dash panel there and I grabbed a couple of light bulbs. So we got most of our light bulbs in. So we're just missing, I guess that's the hazard light. So that'll let you know when your hazards are on. I thought there was a seatbelt light here somewhere. Oh, that's up here. We were missing both the part-time and the full-time, as well as the, what is it, washer fluid. So that, again, that's another thing that leads me to believe this may have been a two-wheel drive truck or something. Like, I could have swore all the Pioneers were four-wheel drive, but I don't know. Like I say, leave it in the comments. But something's definitely, maybe this is a swap dash, who knows, you know. Or maybe they just flew out somewhere and, you know, through the hole in the floor, they just got lost. That's quite the possibility on this. Alright, so I guess I'm going to need one more for that hazard light. It hasn't got anti-lock, and I don't know if there's anything in that slot. It's back in. Of course, there's a clip missing off of that light, so it's probably going to fall out, and I won't be able to tell if my cargo light is on or off in the daytime, so that's great. Man, I'm surprised. Like, I don't know if they took the dash out and disconnected the speedometer so that it wouldn't rack up miles so that they could sell it or something like that. I'm starting to wonder because, man, like, people that don't know how to work on stuff and, like, I don't know, it just, I'm starting to wonder if this was like a shady deal. Like, this guy just wanted to get rid of this thing. You know, obviously with the engine swap, axle swaps, transmission transfer case, I don't know what's going on, but there was problems, and now I inherited them. So anyway, we got the speedometer in, but you know what, frankly, I'm surprised that they were even able to get this truck running and driving, whoever was working on this, because this is some seriously redneck stuff going on here. And yeah, like, I am really, I paid way too much for this truck. I mean, I needed a drive home. I was going to pick up a dog, and I guess I never really told the story. Maybe I did, but I was going to pick up my dog, and he's a big boy, but he was a cute little sucker when he was young. And so I drove all the way out to Alberta, you know, on my Triumph 765 street triple. That was a lot of fun. So I stayed with some friends, went to look at this truck, because obviously I can't take the dog back on a bike. I didn't want to, like, fly or anything like that. So I thought, well, you know, I wanted a Comanche anyway, and this was, like, pretty much the only decent Comanche for sale in Canada at the time. But anyway, yeah, no, and I drove it, well, frankly, I drove it all the way back to Ontario, or Ontarable, and had a great time. For the most part, it worked. I had a little bit of clunking. That was probably U-joints, so I'm replacing those. I had an issue with the clutch. I put it in, then I put it in gear, and then it started, and then it was like jumping forward. So that's like, it's probably like clutch slipping. That's probably what it was. Either, I can't remember if it jumped forward or not. I think it did. But if it didn't,
I thought maybe throwout bearing, so I got a new throwout bearing that looked at the old one. It's like, I don't know if that's good or not. So that was probably the antifreeze leaking onto the clutch from that freeze plug, if anything. But I was losing a lot of oil, dude. There was so much oil on the ground when I went through like 2 gallons of oil coming back home. That's about 4,000, 5,000 kilometers, 3,000 miles. Rear main seal was the major culprit, of course, but I suppose it could be burning it too. But that is a replacement engine. I guess we'll find out. But I know it was leaking a lot. So, I mean, if it burns a little, okay, I can deal with that. Just, run some seafoam through it every now and again, maybe. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, and then get this, right? So I text the guy, hey, I made it back, and he's like, oh wow, I'm surprised you made it back. I'm like, oh, dude. He's like, I'm surprised you didn't have an issue with that truck that stopped you from getting back. I'm like, really? Well, isn't that nice of you? So there's a what do you call it? An indicator right there, I guess. I ordered a clip pack, but I don't think they're gonna have clips this small in it. Because we got to have a broken tab here, and then we got one missing over here. Oh, I hate it when things aren't complete and original. I really do. It is the bane of my existence. Hopefully I can find one in a junkyard someday. Pick up those little clips. I'll have to remember that.
Oh, so the miserable cable comes back out because the boot that, what is it, SKP or ATP? Yeah, it's ATP. Put on is way too big for the tiny little hole on the firewall. So I had to slightly cut this old boot from 1988 to fit over this with just a little bit of grease. And of course I'll need to clean that now, because I'm going to have to cut this oversized boot off. And of course, this wasn't even in the back of the panel fully anyway. Apparently you do need to lock it all the way down, as opposed to just like that. You need to completely cover up those pins. I wonder. Yeah, because that was like impossible. I don't know. But this is getting on my nerves. You get brand new parts and you expect them to fit. I know that's just the issue these days, but now, because of that cut, I'm afraid of this leaking. This cable sucks. If there's another option, like, I don't know, Pioneer. I looked at Rock Auto, so there's the ATP, which this is, and then there's a Pioneer one. Try and go with the other one, because this one sucks. It won't, like, fully seat. So, like, this is as far, you can't get this little ring over these other tabs. There's just, like, it's going to break. Like, I already broke it here, trying to, or at least bent it out of shape. And then, so that's pushed down. It's, like, clicked on there. Now watch. It just pulls right off. So I don't know what to do but to carefully just put this in. I mean, like, if I do happen to pull this from the other side and pull this out, I should be able to just kind of get up underneath, and like I'll be able to just kind of stick my finger down in here and pop it back on. But this is one of the miserable things about having to get new parts these days, I guess. And working on vehicles that people do not take care of.
I mean, it's one thing, like, if you want to keep a vehicle and you're just going to beat it, and then you're going to let it sit out in the field for 40 years and then eventually get sold to the junkyard, you know, that's your prerogative then. But if you're going to try and sell it to somebody else, man, like, try and take a little bit of care of it. And then especially be honest when you're selling it and not ask too friggin' much. So I found some RTV for that. I figure, well, it's just as easy putting RTV on than it is grease. So, but what I'm going to do now, I got to get these shift bezels in. So we're going to cut this mat, freshly sharpened knife, and hopefully I don't mess this up like everything else in life. Well, I screwed that one up royally. So yeah, that's how that fits. Even if it comes this way a little bit, there's still a hole there and a giant hole there. I up the word rear and I forgot to put this in before, so I'm probably gonna have to take this whole godforsaken carpet out again so that I can get this down, because it's got to get like sealed underneath with some kind of sealer and then screwed down. So does the transfer case shifter. Why didn't you guys tell me? All right, so it's the next day, and we're attempting now to clean up the mess that I made yesterday, because there's no work like rework. By the way, did I tell you I dislocated my thumb on that door over there? And it still hurts. It's like a week later. Just doing this. I friggin' dislocated my thumb. So, this carpet, 2 years ago, I bought it and stored it. I think I paid like $250 Canadian. That was with tax and shipping, right? Guess how much it is now? It's $500 now. Yeah. We need a change in this country. I think the dollar at this date in time is like, it's like $1. It's, okay, as of a couple days ago, $1 American dollar is worth $1.44 Canadian. That's almost a 50% markup. That is insane. So I can't afford a $500 carpet because I cut this wrong. Like, if it was like $160, like, I could reason, okay, you know, that's like a day's worth of work. That way, okay, you know, I frigged up and it's gonna cost me, but I'm not gonna be starving, literally. So, thank my country again, huh? Listen, I love my country. This Jeep was made in Canada, and it's a great Jeep. I mean, despite how the previous owners took care of it, but nonetheless, you know, there used to be a time when you said something was made in Canada that you took pride in it, because it meant that it was good. Old Toyotas are made in Canada. You know, those old, like a 2003 Toyota Matrix, man, that was made in Ontario. I think it was Cambridge, Ontario. And they were good, because Toyotas, you know, they know what they're doing. They knew building them up here meant quality. But I don't think that's the case anymore. And it's sad. Hopefully, you know, it's just a time, and we're going to get through it. But I'm afraid Canada might have to take another form. This is all cleaned up now. And so I guess this is kind of like the sealing surface here, right? So I've got some more of that automotive sealer. This, I mean, it doesn't fit like super flush, does it? But if I can get it globbed up on there thick enough.
Now I've got these rivets. I gotta watch now because that stupid heater, it blows and it's just smoke. So then it chokes me out in here, and that's probably half the reason I made so many mistakes yesterday. Anyway, so the rivet is gonna squish it down good enough anyway. Maybe not as much as like a bolt would, but I don't know what was in here before. Probably just some self-tappers. I don't know what I did with them. That's the problem. And I've got some more self-tappers, but they're like inch long. I don't want like an inch worth of self-tapper poking down into the transmission. So we're gonna probably just riveted should be fine. I don't see why. They could have been rivets before, to be honest. I don't know. I know the other owner had this out too. So, but yeah, there was like a foam backer on this for sealing. However, 1989. So yeah, automotive sealer around that too and everything. These if you see there, they're like little sheet metal nuts. Oh, this one is a little bit loose, but it should be okay. I don't really care. I mean, you can always grab it from the other side and just kind of screw it down. This kind of overlaps here as well with one of the screws for the shift gate. So I'm gonna have to kind of get creative with how we're gonna seal that. I'm thinking we should do a strip from here to here along with the rest of that, and then once get the shift gate on, or we'll get this shift gate on. All right, trying not to get the carpet in there, but we got this pop riveted down. Had to use a couple different sizes, but it should be most of the way sealed. I also went around on the underside of it as well with some sealer. So these screws for some reason didn't go in straight, but I suspect that's probably because of the welded floor pan just kind of pulling stuff down. But it went in and it's in there now. So ain't no thread like cross thread, but it's all in now. So she's just tacking up. This supposedly dries to the touch. Well, it's already dried to the touch actually. So I probably could just throw the carpet back over it. So I got to get that cleaned up a little bit. I do have a new piece of rubber for that, I think. Yes, it does. However, I might have issues trying to bolt that down and get it tight. But I might not. It depends how much space there is, I guess. If there's a way I can get this off, like I don't know if that's just like a press on, or if I can maybe pull that boot up. I suppose I want to replace this boot anyway, so I'm gonna have to figure out how that mounts. Looks like maybe there's just a pin that goes through. Of course, if it's like hot pinned or something, then I won't be able to, but I wonder if that's just pressed on there or glued on there. If I can just pop it off with the air hammer. But I don't want to break anything or have it rattle in the future. So, questions. And you try to Google it, man. You try to Google anything anymore. Here's me complaining again. But you try to Google anything anymore, and let's say you want to know something about this for the AX15, right? Well, it's going to give you results from a JK Jeep, you know? So you type in Jeep, oh man, you're getting all the Wrangler bros and the Wrangler chicks. I don't care. I want Comanche. I want Cherokee AX15. Show me. Even if it's from a TJ AX15, show me what it works, how it works. But that's just life these days, I guess. You know? It sucks. YouTube algorithm just shows you stuff you've already seen. You can't find nothing on Google, even if you use an alternative browser or alternative search bar. It's all just Google in disguise. It's like that meme that that to two astronauts, you know, it's like, so it's really all just space? And the guy in the back with the gun to his back always has been. Something like that. So we're beginning to fix the mess that I made. I had to cut a little bit more out here. The biggest issue is this front here and this back here. So this is in. I put a little blue paint mark. I gotta touch it up, but it's actually looking pretty good. A lot of them have the red mark, but I thought, well, the interior's blue and it's still like visible and everything, so I thought that was really cool. So this shift gate works perfectly. Hopefully it'll hit the right spots on the transfer case. So if we put this on, get it into rough position here, we can see that there's still a big gaping hole here and a big one at the front, and that's going to be hard to fill because there's so much gap here. So, but at least the back is fine. So back and this side, just two sides. I don't know how I'm gonna fix that, but I wanted to show you something. So, you know, a lot of people are wondering about chrome. What do you do with faded chrome or chipped chrome or whatever? Like right here, you see it's kind of missing some chrome. A lot of people don't like chrome these days, but I think those are a bunch of knuckle draggers. So, what do you want to do to replace your chrome? Well, I bought this little chrome marker. And just touch up stuff, right? But check this out. I did it on this bottle cap. Look at how shiny that is. Man, you can see yourself. Boy, you got a booger hanging down. You better take care of that. Works pretty good, I think, you know. Like, see what I can, like, get to reflect in it. See, there's the truck, I think. Yeah, there's the side of the bed. These cables hanging down. It's pretty good. So, I'm going to be using that to touch up. Now, I have this extra dash panel. I pulled this out of a 93. Freaking carpet. Get off of there. I pulled this out of a 93 at a junkyard. It's the same, and you know, the plastic is less screwed up. So, not that, actually mine is in really good shape, surprisingly. So, but I mean, like flexible is what I mean. But I don't really need to put it on though. So, but I might keep it as a spare, and I'll need to re-chrome it. So there you go. Also, I got these cup holders, thinking I could make this work with the shifter console, but you would have to like modify it in order to do that. So I'm not gonna do that. Somebody just 3D printed those cup holders there, so I'll just use those. So I've been testing the old chrome marker. So here's a glamorous shot, man. Look at that. So we got the before and we got the after. There. Unfortunately, there. Phone's almost dead. But check this out. Oh, look, I just smudged it. However, am I going to fix that? But this is the natural. And this is the brand new, freshly done. Man, that looks tremendous. You can't even tell the difference. Like side by side right there. Left, original, right, brand new. Not to my eye anyway, I can't tell a difference. It's a new day. And you probably saw me, I record the footage off of the endoscope, but this piece here actually had cracked in half. Oh, great. It's still cracked. But at least that's the way it come apart. So I think what happened is with age, the plastic shrinks and then of course it cracks. But got that JB welded back on, but you saw me actually pull it out because I had set it up here and then I must have bumped the truck and it fell down into the defroster holes. So I got a piece of wire with a piece of duct tape on the end of it and with the endoscope, and I was able to actually fish it out. So that's a huge win. A couple other little screw hole fixes and whatnot. On the good news, I found in my supply somewhere this 242 shifter bezel. This was from an 89 Wagoneer, actually, that I found in the junkyard, and I completely robbed it of all Wagoneer-specific parts that I could possibly think of or find. There was a few things that weren't on it, a few things that weren't in great shape that I still took even, and I paid for, man. I found the shifter knob, too, so the other one that's in it is... This must be the original, but... the problem with this one is, see this pattern? It won't fit in there, so I don't know if that's the proper pattern or if this is the proper pattern. They are slightly different, right? But not enough to really matter. I'll probably just put like one of those naked lady shifters on it anyway. And one thing that I forgot to do, of course I never had this door card off, mind you, so I guess I didn't forget to do it, but the door detent, this is all seized up, so I had robbed one of these off of another Cherokee that looks like it's in really good shape, so we're going to get that replaced, but yeah, I think you have to take it off from the inside, so that's great. And then probably on that door, there's a boot. So this rubber boot is all messed up. So I'll probably have to take the door card off and undo the wires. Unless I can find the connector here somewhere. Actually, I wonder if there's a connector for that speaker behind this panel. Because I have one on Parts Jeep. I think they're the same. But, check this out. These also come from the Wagoneer. Chrome door handles, right? Well, not only are they chrome, but they are solid metal. This thing, like, that weighs a good, I don't know, 2 pounds? Like, man, you could hurt somebody with this thing. And man, like when you, like in the wintertime, you go to hit this button, your hand will freeze to the handle. So that's what we really want. But I'm probably not going to put those on anytime soon because I want to, I do want to convert this truck to like have more, goodness, it's windy today, to have more chrome on it. So I want chrome door handles because these plastic ones, I don't want those. These aren't the original mirrors on the older Jeeps. They're metal, right? Just like the door handles. So if I could find one of them in the junkyard, this is from a 98 Jeep, as well as a chrome grill. Now this grill appears to be like bed linered or something. Yeah, you can kind of see it right here. So I don't know what's underneath this. And I thought this grill was actually in very poor condition. However, it's not too bad. It's just the bed liner all over it. There is one crack up here, and there's a couple of screw holes that have been plowed out. but there's so many of these little screw inserts missing. I don't even know where to find those or what these things are called. But I'm gonna have to try and get a couple more of those because you can't really fit like a screw clip onto these. These are all fiberglass. And this one's messed up. But I mean, this whole header panel is a little bit messed up. So yeah, in the meantime, I'm gonna save on these door handles, and one day I will get to installing them, and hopefully I'll be able to find more in the junkyard because I've got more Jeeps I want to chrome out. I like chrome. Speaking of which, this sucks. I was thinking about like painting the front end chrome with it, but I painted this old sandblaster nozzle, and like it's like a silver, you know. It's not even good. Like the marker, like the friggin' chrome marker is better than that. I mean, it's not bad. Like if you had just something that you wanted to kind of spruce up a bit like this, but it's not like if you put it next to actual chrome, it's gonna look terrible. Alright, so I was pulling up the carpet to see if I can get that hole there, kind of clean it out with some brake cleaner, and then I thought, well, I'll take this boot off and see how that goes. And went alright, you know, was able to get that connector out. So there is a connector behind here, but turns out, and this was a good thing that I took this boot off, that I whiskeyed a freaking screw right through these wires for that trim piece that goes here. Yeah, well, hopefully I got it all kind of fixed up. The wires weren't too bad, so I'm going to look at my other Cherokee, see if that the boot on it will match up. But I'm going to probably have a lot of trouble getting it out because I don't know where the connectors are on that because it's a 2001, so I'm probably going to just cut that weld again. Try not to whiskey this wire again. And unless I'm able to get in there with a spray can, but probably not. Yeah, I wish I did this before putting it all back together, or fluid filming it. Wonder if I could just like spray some brake clean or something, clean that fluid film off. But even then, it would still be hard to get some seam sealer to get it up in there. Well, I didn't want it to have to come to this, but got her all ripped out again. And I took a stepper bit and just drilled a hole straight through so that you can see the hole there. Got a piece off the old rubber glove and some sealer that I've been trying to save on since the side of it exploded. And we're going to get that sealed up, covered back over, and we're just going to leave that hole there. Probably going to put some more fluid film or something over it as well, because I had to clean it out with like brake clean and get in there and spray her down and hose it out. All right, hopefully that is enough. I'm gonna let that cure, and then well, I guess I'll just clean it off the top, and then it'll just cure like that. So I'm taking out the old boot off the rear door here on the parts Jeep, and I noticed that's the rear tire. Yeah, no wonder the friggin' birds are getting in here and pooping on the upholstery. Goodness. All right, everything's back together. Only probably gonna have to take it apart another 2 times in order to get this out of the shop. I say shop, but it's an old tarp shed. So pulled the new boot, and I didn't want to have to cut the wires, but I also didn't want to go and breathe in a bunch of antivirus. So I just cut the wires on the old parts Jeep. I mean, they can always be spliced back together, but it's going to be hard to kind of get that in that hole. I was able to get everything else hooked back up course I need to plug that in, but I haven't got enough room to open this door, so that's gonna have to wait till we get it out of the shop. I got these 4x4 badges that I need to put on because, of course, this truck was the 2-wheel drive, but now it's the Furbifer. So just wanted to kind of measure. Man, these things are handy. Just keep them on your keychain. So we've got the 3M. This is supposed to be VHB tape. Super strength molding tape. But it doesn't say VHB on it. And of course I ordered it from Amazon. So it's probably a Chinese knockoff and these are going to fly down the road somewhere. So that's fine. And clean the area, you know. And we'll get them on. Alrighty. There we go. Pretty good. Not a little messy in there, but I'm not too worried. Whole truck's a little messy, so I think that's going to hold on there nicely. Now, I want to take this detent and put her in here. So just as a little tip, if you're washing, if you see something in a junkyard, like on one of these old Jeeps, and you want it, because it's better to save on the old stuff and take it out of the junkyard before it goes to the crusher. There's just the 2 screws, Phillips head on the bottom, and then this thing, you just basically lever it up till it's vertical, and then pull it straight out of this hole. There's 3 screws on this, and this kind of just stays in there. You can kind of manipulate it. There's just push pins, as you can see, that's put into a cardboard. And be careful, take one of these with you, or something that you can use to get close to that push pin, as close as you can, if not directly on it, and pull it up. Sorry, wasn't in frame. And pull it up, and that way it doesn't break out of the cardboard. And then when you're taking this off, just be careful, because this is like pressed into this seal. Just be careful that you don't rip it here, because it's kind of like there's like a shelf under these, and it can get pinched between here, so oftentimes that rips. Alright, sweet. Got it replaced, got the pin in. This one's probably fine. I don't see anything broken. It's probably just a little bit seized up, and oh yeah, it's a little off kilter, but that probably isn't really an issue. Probably just needs to get like unseized and greased, so I might keep that. Alright, yeah, might as well take a look and see what the door sills look like. Oh man, I can't believe it. Look at the lack of rust. That's insane. I'm so happy. So happy. I noticed the lock button had a little, like, the letters were like recessed. So I just stuck some white marker on there, and I figure give it a couple of scratches, you know, get the you start rubbing it with use, that you'll actually be able to be left with the just the letters. So that'd be sweet. Alright, I'm gonna give this a wipe down and then put everything back together. It would be cool. I noticed I have 2 pairs of wing windows. However, wing windows leak. I don't care how good they are, they're probably gonna leak. So plus there's I have to fix the one, at least one of them I have to fix a little bit. So I'm just gonna leave these in this. These are actually different. The original ones in this truck were completely, like, all the seal, well, on the outside, all the seal here was just cracked, like bad, like missing bad. So, and more more on one side than the other, so that's probably just from sitting out in the sun. So these were sitting under a shade tree, and everything else was just rusty. So grab those. I guess we can start working on fixing this mess that I made for myself with the carpet. Yeah, it's gonna suck, but at least I have the pieces, so it should be able to kind of fit back together properly. It seems like it's a bit to the right there, but I don't know. I don't know if that's where it's supposed to be or not. Maybe I've been wondering if I have that transmission mount in properly, because you can kind of flip it side to side and there's more on one side than the other kind of thing. I'm gonna have to fix that vent, because that doesn't line up with the dash whatsoever. It's funny because I had to duct tape it to keep it in there, and I thought I was doing it straight, but I guess not. Shoot. See all my fancy chrome trim on there now? Yeah, these things didn't have chrome before. Boy, that marker made everything, just spruced everything right up. Alright, so we got this one patched, and I think I did a fairly decent job on it. We could have done a better job on the front here, though. So, what that's going to look like when this is on, it's going to be roughly, let me get a line. So you're going to see just a little crease. So that's actually not too bad. Now, the way I did it was, and I'm not going to lift it up now, but I took a piece of cardboard and I got some carpet tape, some actual carpet tape. It's double-sided carpet tape, and cut a piece of cardboard to have it like an inch or two overlap, and I put it on the put the carpet tape on the cardboard, but left the backing on. That's important. I shoved it down in there, lined it up, and then I reached in and I peeled the backing off, pressed it down just a little bit, and then peeled the rest of the backing off, pressed it all down, and then put my little patch on. And yeah, it seems to be good. And of course I separated the insulation from the top of the carpet. So you've got this on the back of the carpet, plus the insulation, right? So you're not going to get it all off, but if you can get it to where it's not going to be like a thickness issue when you put the two pieces of carpet together, then it should be okay. So if I can do a slightly better job on that than I did this, then man, it's going to be perfect. I don't know how well the cardboard will hold up against like heat and whatnot, but we'll see, I guess. You could also put the carpet tape on both sides of the cardboard. I didn't want to do it here though, because we've got the shifter boot here, but it was kind of like the insulation only went halfway. So the insulation started here, but not on this side. So, yeah, and I didn't really need the insulation on this little patch because it's right next to the shifter. So, that doesn't seem to be affecting the shifter, but it is kind of in the bezel. Or not bezel, gate. Oh well. Can always cut it later if it does start to become an issue. Alright, I'm going to get this done. Alright. So this is kind of how it goes together. I've got the tape on the bottom side as well. And got a little bit more maroon in here now. Alright. That's not looking too bad at all. There's just a little bit. But there's not a real diesel fume, not a real huge color difference. So there's no like seam line. It's just kind of like a crease in the fabric that you may be able to see. But honestly, you know what? From back here, you won't see it anyway, which is nice. So I think we did a good job on that. Hopefully it'll last, and I won't have to buy another carpet. $500 later. Now we're focusing on shifter boots. We got this carpet down, looking all right. That gets covered anyway, so I'm not too worried about that being a little bit open there. So the way this goes in, there's this little tip. These are replaceable. You can get a pack on Amazon. I don't know if I should replace this or not, but I don't think I was having any issues. So there's also underneath in here that little green ring there. That's replaceable. Because if you got to like slop in your shifting, then I'd look at that. These boots replaceable. So those three plastic components and this boot, or those two plastic components and this boot, come in a pack. You can find it on Amazon. I don't have a part number for you. I bought this individually. It's just Dorman or whatever. But you have to put this on first. You have to separate it from the shaft. Now, okay, I know this sounds like a how-to. Okay, it's not. Please don't take it that way. Because this is a come wrench with me, and maybe there's some kind of useful information that maybe I've done it wrong, but you can see how it should be done right, kind of thing. That's what I'm hoping for, okay? That's the least thing that I can hope for out of this series. So, so we have to get this boot over this here piece of wrought iron. So we're going to need some grease for that, and lube me up, baby. And once that's over, we can then put this boot over. Okay. Now this is the same boot as a TJ, believe it or not. The underfloor or underneath shifter boot, whatever. And then we can put this on, and then we can put the console down, and that shifter boot there, and then hook everything up and be good to go. Now you see I've already messed something up. See, this is why this is not a how-to series. I went to go put that boot on, and I forgot, oh yeah, isn't there like some ring that goes around and seats into there? Yeah, there it is. So that's how we actually lock this thing down. So she's kind of locked down. I don't know if I've got like a bend in this shifter plate thing here. Probably. You can see the kind of the wonkiness here. I just hope it seals properly. And it kind of goes over that there. Gee, because there's this cutout here. You'd think that goes for there, which it definitely looks like it needs it. But maybe that's supposed to be over here. But at the same time, this boot is angled forward. I mean, everything's fine though. Yeah. I don't know if I'm super happy with that. It's hard to say because, I mean, I've never seen an original one, right? So, and there's very little information out there on stuff like this. Maybe I'll look into it more. Ooh, I don't know. That kind of hits that bezel a little bit. So our JB weld seemed to hold. I had to hammer this to the side a little bit to get it to line up properly, but I don't know, it looks maybe a little off kilter, but whatever. 35 years old. So there's a little clip that goes on here somewhere. It doesn't really affect much if you don't have it, but junkyard shift knob. Of course, doesn't fit, so that's great. Sorry for the blood, but this was literally from an AX-15. Oh, there it goes. Well, of course it has to be just a little bit off. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, okay. It's like not even on there hard, but so. All right, that's neutral. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, and a little bit further over is reverse. Beauty. All right, well, I'm proud of myself. Yeah. Not a huge seam or nothing. I wonder, though, what this is for. Maybe it's just extra room for the carpet, but as far as I'm concerned, that's where you hide your drugs. So yeah, I'm not super happy with that bezel hitting the two-wheel drive, but I mean, it doesn't slam it, so worst case scenario is this cracks and then this cracks and then I have to buy a new one of these because they don't make these and they're very hard to find, and so are these, and yeah. Well, so that scares me. But hey, look. We have look. Check this out, okay? It's all together. Just need to get some floor mats. Clutch. Oh man, this is gonna be sweet. Can't wait to get this driving.